All right, I'd like to see that number roll. This is Royce Marie Patton, aka General Nuisance. Hang on one little second. This is going to be my thing. Coming at coming at you from Pittsfield, Massachusetts, where this town is so infested with corruption. I have decided to turn the city's main street into my own personal game. More about that's on a different video. Today we're going to get to some good stuff. I'm going to be calling the Boston FBI to show you guys how they handle a citizen complaint about police corruption. And I've had a couple calls already to them that did not go so well. I wasn't smart enough to record them then. I'm going to get them today. We're going to see if they're handling this a little more professionally. And I'll tell you why I'm a little perturbed in a minute. Hang on one second.
Thank you for calling the Boston Division of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. This call may be recorded. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Voicemail boxes on this system are not continuously monitored and should not be used to leave a tip, report suspicious activity, or to report a federal crime. Please listen carefully as our remaining options have changed. To leave a tip, report suspicious activity, or to report a federal crime, press 1. If you are a federal employee or law enforcement...
Hello. Thank you for calling the FBI. This is not a 911 service for taking emergency calls. For emergencies, please call 911.
Si usted desea escuchar este mensaje en español, por favor oprima el número 1.
In a few moments, you will be connected to an operator. This call will be recorded for quality assurance, investigative, or other purposes. If you do not wish to be recorded, please hang up and submit your tip online at tips.fbi.gov. During this call, you will be asked to provide identifying information about yourself and/or the persons about whom you are calling. We use this information to assist in investigating your tip. You do not have to provide your name or other personal information. However, the lack of information may delay or hurt our ability to investigate your tip. Any information you provide may be used for authorized purposes. To report a suspicious email, hacked email, internet scam, or ID theft, press 1. To report a tip about threat to human life, serious bodily injury, or significant violent action, press 2. To report a tip on an FBI fugitive, press 3. To report a tip on an FBI case currently highlighted in the news, press 4. To report mortgage fraud, press 5. To report telemarketing fraud, gift card fraud, identity theft, or unfair or fraudulent business practices, press 6. If you are calling about any other issue, press 7. To repeat the thing, please provide the zip code of the area you are calling from now.
01247.
I'm sorry, we did not get your response.
Wrong zip code anyway. It's North Adams.
One moment while I transfer you to the next available representative. Your call will now be recorded. At this time, we are experiencing a high volume of calls with longer wait times. You can now get immediate service by visiting us at tips.fbi.gov, which can take online tips 24 hours a day. Your online form will be processed by the FBI for further investigation.
I guess I can talk to you guys while it's doing. So here's what I'm going to do. My first point of business is asking about this because I filled out a citizen's complaint form and my machine's running real slow. Um, and a police report. Mm, you're down there. Hmm. Oh, there's
At this time, we are experiencing a high volume of calls
complaint
with longer
form.
wait times. You can now get immediate service by visiting
There's
us
a
at
bunch of stuff there, but whatever.
tips.fbi.gov, which can take online tips 24 hours a day. Your online form will be processed by the FBI for further investigation.
So, um, I filled out this complete police complaint form. It is an official document on 12/26/2019. It is now 6/22/2020, and it has yet to be attended to. So I called, well, I wrote to the Attorney General. Oh, yeah, there it is. I wrote to the Attorney General, and they're 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 not interested in dealing with this, and they wanted me to call the police back. You should contact the local police department. The local police department has been, better title that. That's the, oh,
At this time, we are experiencing a high volume of calls with longer wait times. You can now get immediate service by visiting us at
that's a chief
tips.fbi.gov,
win receipt. I sent it snail mail, registered return
which can
receipt.
take online tips 24 hours.
He's never gotten back to me. So I'm going to call the FBI and ask them what's the next step. I've also alerted the DA. There's been several people. Nobody's gotten back to me about any of these things. And one of the things the last time I tried to, the music's annoying, um, called the FBI, uh, was one of the parts in the police report. It goes back over a decade ago, about some police, pretty bad stuff. I was literally kicked out of an entire city for refusing to comply with some kind of disgusting stuff I'm not going to get into right now because I'll get all emotional. Uh, I actually took this letter from this attorney to several other attorneys, and one of them told me,
tips.fbi.gov, which can take
mm,
online tips 24 hours a day. Your online form will be processed by the FBI for further investigation.
but anyways, the attorney I took this to said since there were no set parameters, I could literally be arrested anywhere in the city of North Adams. I was literally kicked out of an entire city. Um, oh, there it is. There's page 6. There's this is the reason why nobody's getting back to me. This little portion in my police report. It's an 8-page police report. So I'm going to leave that right there. But the last time I called the FBI to report what had happened to me, she actually said nobody cares about what happened to you 10 years ago. And the reason why I find that disturbing is because the other day I ran across this. I don't get the Berkshire Eagle because they're biased and they don't report the news.
www.fbi.gov, which can take online tips 24 hours a day. Your online form will be processed by the FBI for further investigation.
Now, my concern is this is 216, and this is a guy who was uh, drunk. I mean, I'm not saying just because you're drunk and belligerent you don't have rights, but I have never had anybody want to deal with this issue, and it is way worse than this one night of events. Um, this this stuff went on with me for months. They literally stripped me of all my resources. Hang on, let's see. My name is Royce Marie Patton.
Royce, R-O-Y-C-E-M-A-R-I-E
Yes,
P-A-T-T-O-N?
yes, ma'am. Thank you.
No problem, thank you. Give me a moment, please.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. Hey, Royce, what is your date of birth, please?
August 28, 1967.
August 28th of 1967. And what would be a good contact telephone number, please?
413-344-6057.
413-344-6057. Is that a home or a cell?
That's a cell phone. And
That's fine.
do you
Can I have?
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. You're fine. Can I have the zip code from which you're calling, please?
01201.
01201.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, zero there. We'll be all set. Okay. What is the federal crime you're calling to report to the FBI today?
I am calling for some police corruption. Uh, I filled out a police complaint form and a records request form on December on December 26th of 2019, and as you know, this is 6/22/2020, and neither of these complaints have been tended to yet. I did contact the Attorney General, and I recently got a letter back from her saying that they will not be conducting any further review of this complaint. She also said I should contact my local police department. I did recontact my local police department. I contacted Chief Michael J. Wynn. I sent him copies of both the police complaint report and the records request form, and he has not gotten back to me yet. Uh, I want to know what's my next step.
Well, if you have, all right, if you filed the police complaint form and the records request form, and you haven't heard anything, so you contacted your attorney general, and you were told there was going to be no further review of the complaint, and you were told to contact the local police, and you contacted Chief Michael, Michael Jwynn.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you haven't heard back. Your next step is just to wait.
Wait for what?
Right now, wait for Mr. Wynn to contact you back.
But
now,
it's been.
Bear with me.
Yes.
Bear
Okay.
with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Bear with me a moment, okay? Now, in the police complaint form, what was your complaint?
I was told that I could not have my freedom of speech, and I could not protest some corporate corruption I was dealing with.
did it have to do with maybe where you were protesting, or?
No, because after I argued the point a little bit, they did allow me to go and protest. So once I,
So you made the complaint that you weren't allowed to protest, but after that you were allowed to protest. So there's no wrong there, correct?
no, there is some wrong here because still to this day, neither of one of these police reports have been tended to. They're legal documents, and the police have ignored them. I don't have my public records request form is
I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you for a moment. So your original police complaint form was that you were not allowed to protest and you were not given your freedom of speech. But you have since been allowed to protest and given your freedom of speech, correct?
correct.
All right.
But
So what is the complaint then?
the complaint is on page 6 of the police report. What happened was when these two officers they verbally abused me is what they did. That's why I wanted the records request
How
forms.
did they verbally abuse you?
I'm about to tell you, ma'am, okay?
Thank you.
But I wanted to let you know the reason why I wanted the records request form was so I can prove the verbal abuse in a court of law. I need the records request form, and it has not been given to me yet. So I've already waited, like I said, it's been a little while since Michael J. Wynn got that those documents in my inquiry about what's going on with this. I did call the police and I did ask them. They told me there was a records request form box. I mean, yeah, that the citizens take care of that. And yes,
Right.
yes.
How did the officers verbally abuse you?
Okay. They got belligerent. Their voices were raised. There were several other words that were said, and I really don't want to repeat them. But one of the things on page 6, if you don't mind me reading, it's very, very short. Like I was saying, the officer's verbal abuse was so bad it triggered some police abuse that was done to me 10 years ago. Um, and I'll just read it. This is a part of an official police document. Yes,
This is something that happened 10 years ago. I don't need to hear it now.
okay.
Bear with me a second. So you said they got belligerent, their voices were raised. Did you raise your voice in response to them raising theirs?
No,
Did you argue back with them?
no.
So you did not argue with the
I
police. You
was
did not
not
say anything
argumentative
that.
with the police at all. I shut up. I left. I came home. I Googled the ACL. Well, actually, I Googled Massachusetts protesting laws. I got the ACLU document that said I did not need to buy a permit and all this other stuff. And I brought it back in. And that's when I was allowed to protest, once I was able to prove that I could do that. But they did
Okay, so
try to
you
intimidate
were
me
allowed
and
to
bully
do
me.
you were allowed to do what you wanted to do. All right. What I'm going to suggest you do is you wait for a call back from the Chief of Police, Michael J. Wynn. This is not an FBI matter. I thank you for calling. You have a good day.
Okay, can I hold on for? Oh, and she just hung up when she knew I had some other stuff to say. So I'm calling them back. Where is that FBI contact? There you are. And the point is, before I press call, because that's going to be it, the point is not about me being allowed to do it. The point is they tried to stop me from doing it. If I wasn't so bullheaded and adamant about continuing on, these officers would have stripped me of my constitutional rights and my right to protest. That's the point. That's the point. So, since she didn't want to hear this 10 years ago stuff, then she's going to hear this 10 years ago. We'll probably be a different field office. Um, yeah, there's the number. Let's go back to that. And then I want to skip over to that.
Thank you for calling the Boston Division of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. This
I
call may
forgot
be
what number I
recorded.
pushed.
If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Voicemail boxes on this system are not continuously monitored and should not be used to leave a tip, report suspicious activity, or to report a federal crime. Please listen carefully as our remaining options have changed. To leave a tip, report suspicious activity, or to report a federal crime, press 1. If you are a federal employee or law enforcement,
Hello. Thank you for calling the FBI. This is not a 911 service for taking emergency calls. For emergencies, please call 911.
Si usted desea escuchar este mensaje en español, por favor oprima el número 1.
In a few moments, you will be connected to an operator. This call will be recorded for quality assurance, investigative, or other purposes. If you do not wish to be recorded, please hang up and submit your tip online at
I'll be doing that
tips.fbi.gov.
too.
During this call, you will be
But I'm
asked
going
to
to go
provide
down to the
identifying
police
information
department
about yourself
with my
and
boob
or
cam.
the persons about whom you are calling.
You'll
We
love
use
it.
this information to assist in investigating your tip. You do not have to provide your name or other personal information. However, the lack of information may delay or hurt our ability to investigate your tip. Any information you provide may be used for authorized purposes. To report a suspicious email, hacked email, internet scam, or ID theft, press 1. To report a tip about threat to human life, serious bodily injury, or significant violent action, press 2. To report a tip on an FBI fugitive, press 3. To report a tip on an FBI case currently highlighted in the news, press 4. To report mortgage fraud, press 5. To report telemarketing fraud, gift card fraud, identity theft, or unfair or fraudulent business practices, press 6. If you are calling about any other issue, press 7. Please provide the zip code of the area you are calling from now. One moment while I transfer you to the next available representative. Your call will now be recorded.
thank you for calling the FBI. May I have your name, please?
My name is Royce Marie Patton.
Rosemary, is that 2 words?
No, Royce Marie, and yes, ma'am, it is 2 words. Royce,
Okay.
like the car, and Patton, Patton, like the general.
Thank you. What is your phone number?
Area code 413-344-6057.
All right. And let me see. I have the zip code of 01201.
01201, yes.
Okay. And then lastly, we do ask your date of birth.
August 28, 1967.
All right. And how may I help you this morning?
Well, I wasn't finished giving a report, and I was hung up on a little abruptly, but I'm glad she did, I guess, because this is a separate issue that stems from it. I would like to report police corruption, And I just want to get this recorded for my own records because I was literally tormented and terrorized. I was tortured by police. I had my resources stripped from me, and I was left homeless and penniless out in the harsh, cold winter streets of North Adams, Massachusetts. It was a it was a whole town conspiracy, is what it was. The police would go to my doctor. They did go to my doctor, and I don't know what they told him, but my doctor took my medication for my arthritis, and I do have arthritis in my back, knees, and ankles. My medication was taken away. They actually um, had to take me through the housing authority 3 times before the housing authority took my housing away. The Board of Health was in on it. I do have all the documents to prove this as well. The apartment was condemned due to owner neglect and repairs needed to be made. There was some legal stuff involving that never happened. Like the landlord was supposed to put me up until the repairs were made. I don't know what happened, but no repairs were made. The Board of Health came back and they approved everything. The Section 8 Housing Authority let it pass. I do have that videotape of everything that was condemned and not fixed being uncondemned magically. All of that, it's like I said, it's not just police, it's the local agencies and government as well. I tried to take everybody to court that was doing this to me. There were so many police reports. I stood there for hours filling them out. And one of the clerks behind the desk said there's a fee for everyone, which I knew, and I had all my Social Security money at the time with me. I was going to pay for them all, and she said that they were going to waive the fees, uh, but it just felt kind of strange. I never got one single piece of paper back from the court system allowing me to take any of these people to court on my own. So I want to know what I can do about all of that.
Okay. When did all this happen?
It happened about 10 years ago.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I do have a document from one lawyer that is dated September 28th of 2010. So that year, most definitely, I was, like I said, tormented and terrorized for months as they stripped me of all my resources. I was literally tortured. I'm tearing up now, so I want to kind of digress a little bit. Um, so I have had a therapist tell me that this incident has given me heavy combat, military grade PTSD.
What area was this in where this happened?
This was in North Adams, Massachusetts.
Okay. All right. Anything else you can think of?
Oh, I can think of a lot of things, honey, but I don't want to overload you with information right now. I would just like to know how long will it take before someone gets back to me on this?
I'm not allowed to give you any kind of a time frame because I do not know what agents are working, what may take precedence. So we
Okay.
are not allowed to give a time frame for if or when someone will get back with you.
Okay, so will I just want to know what to expect or when to expect. A month, 6 months? I mean, what's a reasonable amount of time?
Ma'am, I cannot give you a time frame. Like I said, we are not allowed because we do not know what the agents are working, and I cannot guarantee you this is something they will investigate because I'm not an investigator.
Okay, see, well, first
Okay?
of all, yes, ma'am, hang on one second. I want to say thank you because the last FBI agent that I spoke with just said nobody cares about what happened to you 10 years ago, and she hung up on me. So I was wondering, is there a way for me to get transcripts of those kind of conversations, or did I just, I mean, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can. You would have to go through on FBI.gov and do a Freedom of Information Act request, and that would provide you with any calls you've made here or anything the FBI has on you.
Okay. Yes. And before I end this conversation, I just wanted to let you know that I did just recently see in the Berkshire Eagle. It's dated June 5th of 2018. I guess it's not as recent as I thought, but it said that a man in North Adams was wrongfully arrested in a $2 million suit. And I guess it's you do go back in time. So is there any statute of limitations on domestic terrorism? Because I do have in front of me as well the FBI's definition of domestic terrorism, and what the city of North Adams did to me, especially the police department, does fit in to the FBI's definition of domestic terrorism. So I am accusing the North Adams Police Department and city agencies and local government and city officials of a domestic terrorism. That's what I'm accusing them of.
Okay. Do you know why this started or why they
Yes.
want to do this to you? Why did they do
Yes,
this to you?
ma'am, I do. And that is on page 6 of my 8-page police report that I turned in on December 26th of 2020 that has yet to be tended to by the police in here in Pittsfield. Um, what happened to me was my well, I always called him my slumlord. His name was Charles Rusty Ransford. Wanted me to do some things that I wasn't really going to do, some sexual things. So I refused.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Rusty Ransford was affiliated with the North Adams Police. I believe he might have been retired, or he was very, very buddy up with them, and it's a very small town. So when I refused to have sex with Charles Rusty Ransford, that's when everything started happening to me. I was
Okay.
robbed on several occasions. I have photos of actual some of his workmen taking property of mine that was valued of over $250, which is a felony. The police would not allow me to make a report on Charles Rusty's Ransford's attempted rape. They would not let me make a report on any thefts. They would not, nothing. I got nothing.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I will get all that added in here for you and get it put in the database. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I do
All right.
appreciate your
You're welcome.
professionalism. Have a good day.
Thank you. You
Yes,
too.
ma'am.
Bye bye.
Bye. Okay, that was actually better. The last FBI agent made me cry. Nobody cares what happened to you 10 years ago. That made me, um, I did not have my camera running. I'm going to let that one go because I didn't write down a date. So we're going to go with this one. She's got a report. She was actually professional enough to write it down. But once again, there's no when will we get back to you kind of stuff. So they can literally sit on this forever and never get back to me. So 6/22/2020, I will remember that. 6 is the number that represents, well, it's the most loving number. 22 is ultimate divine energy. And so that's what it is. I am going to go down to the police station after I gather my little documents here, which I kind of have right there beside me, but I will be wearing my boob cam. I got this little thing here from the Five Below. It's like a dollar store up around here, and it does fit your phone uh, snugly and nicely right in there. And you can make a little Insta body cam. But me, want to let them know that I mean business, and me wanting to turn the entire city into my game board for my creatively corrupting corruption. I have decided, ooh, hang on, it's got it on photo. I was out last night doing some stuff, but I did make this my boob cam. Oh wait, it's upside down. My boob cam, so I can just hook it on Hang on, let me just do it, show you how easy it is. Just so, um, well, whatever, it's on. There it goes. So I am going to walk down to the Pittsfield Police Department wearing my boob cam full on. Now you don't need to have it open like that because all you really need is the little hole for the lens. But I want them to see that they are on TV. So we're going to see how that goes. I will let you know. Well, it's going to be boob cam, so I most likely will be live. This is Royce Marie Patton, aka General Nuisance. Over and out. We'll see what happens. At least this FBI agent was professional.